That's dynamite, too. That's all.
In 2004, Dan Sugar, owner of Sugar Soap Works, had every reason to despair. He just lost more than 50% of his business to a China-based competitor. But for Sugar, moping was not even an option.
Instead of, sitting around saying, oh, poor me, why did I lose that? Could I have done something better? No, what you have to look for is what's in the future, what's next year and the year after.
He pared down his staff, cut other expenses, and reinvented his company. Instead of marketing his private label soaps to Las Vegas hotels as he used to, he created his own brand and sold it to retailers like Big Lots and TJ Maxx.
I believe I walked through the fire and I made it to the other side. I believe it made me stronger, and I'm glad it happened to me.
For Bob Schwartz, owner of New York-based Eneslow Foot Comfort Center, this is a familiar story. He had 8 stores and a big business selling orthopedic shoes. When Medicaid stopped paying for this footwear, his sales took a nosedive, and he had to decide between throwing in the towel or taking a hard look at how he ran his company.
There was a gentleman who said, Bob, one good store, that's all you need.
So Schwartz downsized and changed his focus to stylish but comfortable shoes that appeal to a broader customer base. 15 years later, he's still in business.
It's not my nature to give up on anything. I'm a relentless, persistent perseverer.
Back in the 90s, Vail, Colorado's Gore Mountain Works catered to serious outdoor enthusiasts. It was uniquely positioned to provide hardcore clothing and equipment to its customers. That is, until brands like Gore-Tex and Patagonia became widely available at chain stores.
We did not want to be on this side of the counter and hear from our customers telling us, oh, I can get this at home, it's not unique.
Founder Axel Wilhelmsen didn't sit on the sidelines and watch his sales start to disappear. Instead, he gave his store a facelift, renamed it Axel's, redesigned the interior, and changed its product mix from rugged flannels to soft silks, catering to the new affluent residents and tourists in town. The result? He tripled his sales.
If you rest on your laurels, you're going to become lazy, you're going to make errors. Customers are going to kind of go to the new fresh thing. So instead of them going to the new fresh thing, we create the new fresh thing within the store.
Vintage clothing store owner Rosie Dole and antiques dealer Nancy Cobb are also no strangers to having to change track. As the current recession started to rear its head, both of their businesses began to struggle.
Expenses have gone up. Even though these are vintage clothes, they're still used clothes and people only pay so much.
But the people just aren't buying like they used to. I kept thinking, how can I cut my expenses and stay in business?
So the two friends formed a co-op, sharing retail space and expenses, helping both their businesses survive.
I felt that by downsizing and joining forces, that I can stay in business and do the things that I love to do. By moving in here and sharing the expenses, I have literally cut my expenses in half of what I was paying. By cutting my expenses in half, I'm able to buy a better inventory.
John Peterman had the opposite experience. His business didn't survive, but his tenacity did, and in the end won him back the company who worked so hard to grow. When Seinfeld made fun of the 2-decade-old clothing catalog, the J. Peterman Company, it became a household name and took off much too fast. Unable to manage the growth, the company went bankrupt, and Peterman lost the rights to his own name. Even that wasn't enough to dampen his entrepreneurial spirit.
I understood the mistakes and took ownership of the mistakes that were made. So I figured I could do it again.
Peterman got the chance to buy back his company name with the financial backing from John O'Hurley, the man who portrayed him on Seinfeld. He resurrected his brand through slower growth and increased web presence.
He is as cantankerous as he is creative, and that's what has kept this brand alive for so long. It's what's kept him a fighter when the chips were down. It gave him the fortitude to resurrect this company against all odds.
For all of these small business owners, it came down to true grit and perseverance. Dawson Rudder, owner of a Boston-based limo company, knows this as much as anybody. He's been through 3 recessions before and is taking this one head on, putting more money into his company, investing in new hires, and training and improving his service.
I'm a survivor. When you start out as an entrepreneur, it's all about survival.
You have got to have the mentality that you aren't afraid to fail. I learned that mentality very early on in life.